What's up guys, it's Paraly5er here and welcome to Mythbusting Part 25. This is the series where I take your myths from the comments and test them in the game. It's been a while since the last episode, but I've come up with a few myths of my own in the brand new 1.3 update. Don't forget to leave your myths in the comments below. Let's get straight into it. Our first myth today is myth. Does blocking after every attack do more DPS than full combos? So in 1.3, the damage per hit was changed from 50%, 100%, 150% in a 3-hit combo to 100, 100 and 125, meaning that the first hit now does much more damage than it used to. So, can we use this to block after every single hit and thus deal more DPS than doing full combos? Let's find out. I first took out the wolf spider using full combos, and this took around 24 seconds, and used just over a full bar of stamina. Next, I tried it by blocking after every single hit, and this took around 35 seconds to fully take down a wolf spider. Not only this, but it also used over 1.5 bars of stamina, meaning this myth is busted. It's definitely better to do full combos against your enemies, which is good, as this used to be an issue when Grounded very first released, but it seems like that issue hasn't reappeared in this update. The second myth of today's episode is myth. If you try to glide with both gliders in your inventory, will it prioritize the fluffy one? Now in the new 1.3 update, they changed the regular dandelion tuft so that it doesn't need to be equipped when used. So if I have the fluffy equipped with tufts in my inventory, which one will it use? I jumped off a ramp and pulled my glider, and as you can see, it didn't use any of my tufts. I spammed the glider before hitting the ground, but when I checked my inventory, I still had 5 gliders, meaning this myth is confirmed. The fluffy dandelion takes priority over the regular one, meaning it works perfectly. Our next myth today has been sent in by RBO, who says, myth, if your hunger and thirst fully deplete at the same time, then it says eat and drink or die. Now we all know when you run out of one of them, it either says eat or die or drink or die. But what if you run out of both at the same time? I hopped into my world and drained both values using the new sliders to make the hunger and thirst drain rate faster. My thirst ran out first, but my hunger was soon to follow. And as you can see, it did indeed change the prompt on the screen to say eat and drink or die, with a unique icon that I've only seen before when marking chests. So this myth is confirmed. If you're out of both at once, you get a unique prompt that says eat and drink or die. This also continues from the timer of the drink or die, instead of it resetting to the initial 120 seconds that you get when you run out of one of those resources. Thiefpedia has sent in our next myth today and says myth. Battle Buddies, Sturdy Shell, and the Fungal Charm all affect the blaster of the Moldy Matriarch's friendly fire damage. Let's test it out. We all know that there was a new mutation called Battle Buddies added in 1.3 that reduces friendly fire by 75%. So let's test if it works on not only explosives but also ourselves. I first tested this using the bomb with no equipment, which killed me in 2 hits. Next, I equipped the Battle Buddies mutation and tried again, and as you can see, it barely did any friendly fire damage at all. Next was the Sturdy Shell, which reduced the damage but barely, which is strange because it's supposed to provide a 50% reduction. Combining the two seemed to stack the effect, making me take almost no explosive damage at all. Next, I hopped into a Playgrounds world to test it using the Fungal Charm. With it equipped, I died in 3 attacks, without it I died in 1. So this myth is confirmed. All 3 of these methods reduce friendly fire damage from the blaster, meaning that Battle Buddies might be one of the best mutations for an explosive build using the Moldy Matriarch bomb. Today's next myth is myth. In 1.3, you cannot deploy your glider when you have no stamina. Let's check it out. I made sure to completely empty my stamina bar and then jumped off with a dandelion trinket equipped. Despite spamming the A button the whole time, it didn't deploy my glider. Next I tried again, but this time using the non-reusable tufts. Yet again, I was unable to deploy my glider. So this myth is confirmed. For some strange reason in 1.3, you can't deploy a glider when you're out of stamina. So be careful, because this has almost got me killed a few times already. The next myth today is myth. There's a new cutscene in 1.3. Now I know a lot of you have old saves, so you don't see some of the new stuff added in the 1.3 update. But if you go to the pond and open the dome, they added a brand new cutscene which plays, and it also opens up certain pipes that are now shut before doing so, meaning the pond dome actually does something when opened now. So this myth is confirmed. There is indeed a new cutscene in Grounded 1.3. Next up, we have another myth from me. Myth. you can upgrade the rotten black ant shovel down the sleek path. Now this will instantly confuse most of you because there's no such thing as a rotten black ant shovel, right? Well, actually, in the new Playgrounds mode of the game, if you go in the menus, you can indeed find a rotten black ant shovel, and if you upgrade it in the smithing station, it actually completely glitches out, probably because it was never actually in the game with the upgrades. Thus, it causes this weird mess and allows you to upgrade it down the sleek and bulky paths, neither of which do anything special, but I just thought it was funny to include in a myth-busting video, to be honest. So this myth is confirmed. You can upgrade a shovel down a sleeky or bulky path for some strange reason. The next myth we have today is also mine. Myth: can you trash a dandelion tuft in mid-air? Let's check it out. First, I tried this using the fluffy version, so I jumped and tried to trash it mid-air, but the game won't let you unequip it or do anything with it, which makes sense. After, I tried again with the new dandelion tufts, but again, I wasn't able to drop or trash them. What about another solution? As you can see, I have 4 tufts when I jump. I open a chest mid-air and deposit the gliders, and yet I'm still able to keep gliding with none in my inventory. When I went back to check the chest, there was still 4 gliders inside, meaning in a way this is an infinite glider glitch. So this myth is busted. You can't trash them mid-air, but you can put them in chests to stop them being consumed before you touch the ground. Up next is another of my myths. Myth: do the web clippers actually work? Now, web clippers are a trinket that was added in 1.3, but there's no current way to obtain them in survival. So the question here is, do they actually do what they're supposed to do, or are they just a useless placeholder item? I equipped them, and according to the game, their intended effect is to double the damage to web sacks. I first punched one without the trinket equipped, and this took 14 hits to break. Then, I equipped the trinket and tried again, and it took 7 hits. So this myth is confirmed. They do work. So I can't understand why they aren't obtainable in survival. This is very strange to me. Today's next myth is myth: will the widow eat widowlings from the whittle widowling trinket? Talk about a mouthful. Basically, in the new update, the widow is able to spawn in and eat widowlings to buff itself. It can also eat widowlings that already exist, or widowlings spawned from web sacks. But will it be able to eat one of my widowlings spawned by the trinket? I tried this out, and while the widow very clearly attacked the widowlings that spawned, it never gained any buffs from doing so. So this myth is busted. The widow's unable to gain a buff by killing your friendly widowlings, which is exactly the way it should be. Our next myth today was sent in by Doki. Yes, that's right, a myth from an actual viewer. And they say, myth: you can go into a secret room in Wendell's fridge by jumping where the fan is. Let's check it out. I headed to the fridge where the fan is and jumped again. This took me into a cool little secret room with a fan at the bottom. I tried to build, but it wouldn't let me. There's also no way of getting out of this room either, so I was stuck spinning around in circles. So this myth is confirmed. The room does exist and you do get stuck in it. Next up, we have a myth from me again. And it says, myth: you can get the molar in the sandbox pot without building. Now, those who've watched the multiplayer series with Jade and Mudders will already know the answer to this. So I headed to the sandbox and got some help from my friend and viewer, Emmy. After a lot of trying, I was finally able to get into the plant pot with no building at all, so this myth is confirmed. You can get this molar in multiplayer without building. The penultimate myth in today's episode has been sent in by Panther. And they say, myth: you can ride on weed stems that another player throws. Let's check it out. Yet again, I got Emmy to help with this one, and yet again, it took a lot of practice and failing. But after plenty of attempts, I was able to get on and ride a few weed stems. This kind of reminds me of rocket riding in Fortnite. It's not that practical, but it looks cool, I guess. So this myth is confirmed. You can indeed ride weed stems. Our final myth today has been sent in by Breadstick, who asks, myth: if you collect the zipper while on a zipline, will it change? Let's check it out. I got myself on a zipline and then got someone else to grab the zipper for me. As you can see, this didn't cause the zipper to appear, so I got off the zipline, and when I got back on, it was just as expected, the zipper appeared. So this myth is busted. The zipper doesn't change if picked up while riding a zipline. That's going to call it for today's episode of Mythbusting. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like on it. Don't forget to leave your myths in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next Grounded video. Have a great rest of your day.